Against the improbable, the story of Leo. The wind howled, a relentless, icy breath tearing across the jagged peaks of Mount Cinder. Below, the valley floor was a seemingly endless expanse of cracked, barren earth. For generations, the villagers of Oakhaven had believed that nothing could grow in the valley, that no river could ever truly flow through its parched heart. It was an impossibility, a cold, hard fact of their lives. Young Leo, however, saw things differently. He wasn't a dreamer in the usual sense. He was a doer. He saw the tiny, tenacious weeds that somehow clung to life in the crevices of the rocks, drawing sustenance from hidden pockets of moisture. He felt the occasional tremor in the earth, a faint echo of the subterranean springs that ancient tales spoke of. Everyone, including his wise, aged grandfather, told him it was futile. The valley is cursed, Leo. Don't waste your life fighting the impossible. But the word impossible grated on Leo's soul. It sounded like a surrender, a giving up before even trying. He spent months studying the land, sketching contours, tracing the whispers of forgotten streams. He read dusty scrolls about old water-seeking techniques, dismissed as superstitions by the modern age. He wasn't just looking for water. He was looking for a way to defy the collective belief that had held his people captive for so long. His first attempt was met with ridicule. He tried to redirect a tiny trickle from a mountain spring, a mere thread of water, towards the valley. It evaporated before it traveled 100 feet. See, scoffed the villagers. It's impossible. Leo didn't see failure. He saw a lesson. The evaporation was too fast. He needed volume, and he needed to protect it. He began to experiment with digging shallow, covered channels, using stones and packed earth to shield the water from the sun. It was backbreaking work, slow and tedious. Many days, he felt the despair creeping in, the heavy weight of the impossible. But then he'd remember the tenacious weeds and the faint whispers of hidden springs, and he'd dig on. Month after month, year after year, Leo chipped away at the perceived impossibility. He faced skepticism, exhaustion, and moments of profound doubt. There were times when the channels collapsed, when unexpected rains washed away weeks of work, when his hands bled and his muscles screamed. But with every setback, he found a new angle, a different approach. He learned to listen to the earth, to understand the subtle shifts in the soil. Then, one glorious morning, a ripple appeared at the furthest point of his longest channel. A small, clear stream, born from the mountain, finally reached the valley floor. It was just a trickle at first, but it was there. It was real. The villagers gathered, their mouths agape. They had seen him work, they had seen his endless struggle, and they had dismissed him as a fool. Now, a living testament to his unwavering will flowed before their eyes. That trickle grew, with collective effort, inspired by Leo's solitary triumph. The villagers helped widen and deepen the channels. The valley, once parched and dead, slowly began to transform. Green shoots appeared, then hardy shrubs, and eventually, a small oasis of life bloomed where only desolation had been. Leo's story became a legend in Oakhaven, not just because he brought water, but because he proved that the impossible is often just the unattempted. He taught them that the biggest barriers are often the ones we build in our own minds, reinforced by collective doubt. He showed them that true strength lies not in avoiding challenges, but in relentlessly chipping away at them, one small, impossible step at a time, until the improbable becomes reality. What impossibility are you ready to challenge in your own life?